How'd you test your teen daughter's first boyfriend? I pretended I had brain damage and couldn't take care of myself around him for 3 months, and saw exactly the kind of man that wanted to slobber over my daughter. My daughter Vanessa started dating this guy Adrian last year. Clean-cut kid, always super helpful around me and my wife. Maybe too helpful. He'd jump up to help me with everything, always offered to drive me places. Spoke slowly and clearly like I was fragile. Something felt performative about it. I'm a retired mechanic but had a minor car accident 2 years ago. Mild concussion, fully recovered, but it gave me an idea. One day when Adrian came over, I pretended the accident had left me with cognitive issues. Started acting confused, forgetting simple things, needing help with basic tasks. Said the doctors were worried about early onset dementia. Vanessa was concerned, but I explained my plan in private. She thought I was going overboard, but agreed to help test his character. The first few weeks Adrian was incredibly patient, genuinely caring, even researched brain injury recovery. He'd speak gently, repeat things when I seemed confused, never showed frustration. By month 2, things started changing. When Vanessa left the room, he'd get impatient with my slow responses. Come on, old man, it's not that complicated. Once I heard him tell a friend on the phone, Vanessa's dad is basically a vegetable now. It's actually pretty sad. I pretended not to understand and just smiled blankly. When Vanessa's birthday approached, Adrian suggested a quiet dinner at home instead of her favorite restaurant. Later, I overheard him talking to his brother. Why waste money on expensive places when her dad won't even remember where we went? Plus, someone needs to watch him. That was telling. I'm perfectly capable of being alone for a few hours. During one of Vanessa's nursing shifts at the clinic, Adrian came by to check on me. Said Vanessa was worried about leaving me alone. While I sat staring vacantly at the TV, he went through our medicine cabinet, counted my prescription bottles, even took photos of the labels. He also opened mail addressed to me. The next week, I accidentally left fake medical bills showing expensive treatments and care facility estimates on the kitchen table just to see his reaction. 3 days later, Adrian told Vanessa he'd been thinking about their future and wasn't sure he was ready for the responsibility that might come with it. Said he loved her but needed to be realistic about what he could handle long term. Vanessa was devastated but suspicious. She asked what my test had revealed. I told her everything I'd witnessed. We decided to wait and see if Adrian would reconsider once the fake bills disappeared. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, he texted saying he'd been selfish and wanted to work through any challenges together. Vanessa invited him over for dinner. He brought her favorite flowers, spoke patiently to me again. I played confused during most of the meal, dropping food, forgetting conversations. Halfway through dessert, Vanessa started testing his patience. Dad seems really confused tonight. Maybe we should call the doctor. Adrian immediately suggested maybe it was time to look into assisted living options. That's when I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and returned with a fresh cup of coffee I'd made myself. Adrian stared as I sat down normally and said, "Pretty good coffee for someone with brain damage, don't you think?" His face went completely white. Vanessa placed her phone on the table with a recording app open. "And this conversation about my dad being a burden you had with your friend Jake, am I confused about that too?" He tried backtracking, said he was just being practical, that planning ahead showed he cared. Vanessa handed him a printout of his text to his brother about not wanting to deal with damaged goods. And these messages about my family being more trouble than we're worth? Adrian grabbed his jacket and headed for the door, called Vanessa naive, called me manipulative for lying about my condition. Vanessa cried that night but told me the next morning she was relieved. 3 months of pretending is better than years of him resenting us, Dad. Adrian is now dating a girl whose family owns several rental properties. Vanessa's with a guy from her study group. He treats me exactly the same whether I'm sharp as a tack or having an off day.